to go ahead and share this to the communities. Greetings to everyone that might be coming in. I'm so excited. I'm sharing this with everyone. There you go. And I'll share that to my other community as well. Thank you, everyone. And let's go here again. Group. There. Thank you, everyone. Got a couple of places I'm sharing it to. Sure there'll be another way that I can automatically share this. So also there's an opportunity for you to join the conversation. So if you're in and you're on your desktop, you definitely can click the join the conversation. If you're on your phone, you actually have to go to the three buttons at the very top of your browser and then click desktop site. Once you click desktop, it will refresh the page, and then you'll see the option to be able to comment as well. So, there you go. I think I've shared it to everyone. I think I've got one more place to share it. Thank you. This is so much fun. Very light, very encouraging, feels good. We're just now jumping into this live, so this is really good. There you go. Let me send that message out to the other community. Now, what's really cool about this is my son actually makes intro music like this. And so on my on my YouTube introduction, that's his introduction, and he's really creative. And so if you want a mystical sort of intro to anything that you're doing, he definitely does those samples. So hold on just one second. Push that back in there. And copy. There. I think it went through. We'll see. There you go. All right. And I'm going to go back over here and to the live recorded. And I'm going to get the conversation started. I think it allows for a conversation. We'll see. That's something that I had to learn. We'll see. Sometimes it does. Oh yeah, right there. It says get that conversation started. So I'm going to say greetings. Perfect. Wonderful. Thank you so very much for joining me on the site today. I'm really glad to be able to share, especially during the regular day, the live broadcast that is provided by this web hosting. And what is so cool is that you can do the same too. There's so many wonderful features when we allow ourselves to get out of the confines of, let's just say, the mega monolith social media site. A lot of us might not feel like we can leave those places because all of our family is there. And because our family is there, we think, oh my gosh, I can't leave because that's where I check in. But the reality is that once you decide to do something, and I'm going to say that's the key, to decide, then all the other stuff just starts to happen, all the good things. And so I started finding that more and more as I decided to make the decision to come over to this side and to do all my work from over here. Hold on. And so that was a big deal for me. I had tried it before, and I'm sure there's many of us will go to these different sites or whatever. MeWe and some other social media sites, but we'll ask our family and friends to come over, and it seems like it just never works, right? Like you can't get them to move over. They're so tied into the social media mega giant that it's almost quite mesmerizing, you know. Like maybe afraid, like this fear of change, and that can happen. And what I will know is, what I do know is that if you don't change, you can't discover something beautiful even in what you already have, right? So you have the communication with your family and friends, but you know, sometimes we just want to stay stagnant. And I know in relationships, in order for a relationship to grow, that it has to invent an aspect of it that is better than the last. It can't just stay the same. It can't be, you just can't. It's got to evolve. And so that's also connected to trust. And so what I find is that it was really difficult for me to move over to another platform. Not because I didn't trust everybody else, but I didn't trust myself, right? So I had to trust that I would come onto my own page and I would inspire myself, not necessarily my community, but anybody that wanted to share the journey with me, they could. And know that I would wake up and be on this side, you know? And to me, it's like having a fresh cup of coffee in the morning, having a good conversation and saying, hey, how are you? What's going on today? I remember the first time I ever joined a chatting community, and it was so archaic. It wasn't on anything like a platform. It was like you would go to, let's just say, a host site, and then you would log in, kind of like DOS. It was really, really kind of archaic. And then people could chat. And it eventually, I mean, you got to know the different people. You knew who was drinking coffee or who's drinking tea, and you knew if they were up at a certain time. If they were up at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, you'd have your group of people there. And so then you form these smaller communities, and eventually some of them became large, and then we had Facebook. And with the advent of the way social media has literally taken our lives, so that we have lost like the intimate aspect of our connection with people, then it puts some fear, like, oh, I don't want to do another thing. I don't want to have to learn another program. I don't want to have to see another another set. I don't want to have to go anywhere else. I'll just stay right here because most everybody's here. Well, that's what social study does. They look at, what do people socially do? They like to hang in cliques and groups, and unless the big person leaves, then they all stay. So I'm not considering myself a big person. What I am gonna say is that I'm brave. And it takes a lot of courage to decide to be on this side of things, using my platform and inviting my friends to come on along and have coffee or tea with me. Now I'm having tea. And you might wonder, what kind of tea is she having? Well, it's a tea that I actually make. And I'm going to share a little bit about it. Different teas that I have. It's kind of like, part of my little store, Sugar, Spice, and Fire. And that's my little store. And here I have, this is the loose tea, but it's blackberry, Damiana, and some lavender, and a couple of other little things. And that's what I created. And so I actually put it in little packets like this, and that just made me feel really good. And I'm really excited to be able to repackage it and then have it in my little store. But it's something that I can do and share with my community. And if people want to come into this space and walk into the door of this room, then what I can offer is a little wisdom, a little fun, definitely a little tarot, and some good advice. Not only my advice, but advice that I've read and also received from dear, very wise women in my life. So, that's good tea. This is my second brew on this particular tea bag, which I really like. So I've been able to, I put them in the bag, and so I have loose and I have the little tea bags as well, and I seal those. So it's a lot of fun. But anyway, and we can, different ideas that we have. I always say spells, tales, and lotions and bells, right? So the other day I made some sugar cookies, and I'm going to tell you, the sugar cookies came out horribly. And I love baking sugar cookies. Actually, I just love baking. However, I haven't had the opportunity to do it in so many years. My children are grown and I have grandbabies, but I will say, however, now my daughter that has the children is doing so wonderful. She's a culinary artist. She's a supervisor of a particular food company, and she does all the baking for the grandbabies, for her children. So I'm glad I passed that to her. So anyways, I tried my hand at some sugar cookies that actually came out horribly. Very horrible. And I looked at that bowl of that bowl of, look at, I was going to say bowl of shit, but that bowl of dough, and it was all crumbly, and it just didn't come out right. And there was like literally no way I could fix it. And because I'm thinking, oh, I can't waste it, I just left it in the refrigerator. I said, well, I'll just put it in the refrigerator. I'm sure I'll use it for something. And then I realized, sometimes we have to start from scratch and then start over. And it's like that in our relationships and our friendships. You don't throw away. Like, I didn't throw away what I knew in my memory. I just had to take my time and do it better, right? And so that's like in our relationships with people. We take our time, we do it better, and we give patient consideration for for what we're doing. Well, anyway, so what I wanted to say is that is what I did the second time around, and instead I didn't make sugar cookies. I actually made these double chocolate chip cookies. and they're soft. And I said, oh my gosh, I forgot how wonderful it feels to be able to cook or bake cookies. Now, mind you, I have a whole bowl of batter, which produces about 30 or 40 cookies. And I realized, oh my goodness, I can't eat all of these because I'll gain some weight. I don't need to gain any more weight. I'm going to be doing some things, for Qigong and all of that and yoga. I said, I'll have to do that and make sure that these cookies don't end up around my belly, right? So, but it wasn't so much that I was worried about eating all the cookies. It was the fact that I did it. And I did it with a different type of attitude. And I did it in a way that was purposeful. And so then I was able to share them with my mate and with my sweetheart. And he said, well, I'm going to have these with a bowl of ice cream. And I thought, oh, now that was different. You see, evolving and creating something new. And that's what's fun. So this right here is my creating something new and adding to the communication to develop even more wholesome relationship with people that are in my life. I like the fact that we have the Witches Tradition group, and we have the extension group on Facebook, but we moved that baby right over here. And then we have the forum, and the forum is general for people to be able to post in. However, there are some very unique aspects of the forum that is solely shared with the Witches Tradition group, and that's how to create a grimoire, a medicine book of words. Also, there is the 12 Days of Christmas, aka Witchmas, that we're working on. So I've got a couple of updates that I need to put in there because I need to get popping. I have the 19th, 20th, 21st, and the 22nd to post in there. But I've been getting all of this ready over the weekend. I did a live and a sample, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to work out. And the only difference this time than all the other times that I really worked at putting together a group that was not on Facebook is that my attitude is different about it. I'm not in here saying, or I don't feel it, like if my friends don't come over, then I'll just stop and I'll just go back to Facebook. No. This is my little space. And I like it. It's like having a little place on the boulevard. And we just don't close shop because only a few people walk down the street. We just become better at welcoming people when they do come in. So that somebody else says, hey, want to go over to this little place? So this right here is like, for those that have seen The Good Witch, this is like Belle, Book, and Candle. But for me, it's sugar, spice, and fire. Something that is inspiring, something a little feisty, and definitely sweet. And that's what I wanted to share. So you won't see me posting in the Facebook group. I'll share here. And I encourage different ones to come on through for some morning coffee, because I'll definitely be here every day at 7:15 a.m. just to stop in for some coffee. Now I've got some things that I'll be doing, definitely. Like I'm helping, I do a little bit of online work. That starts at about 8:30. But a little tea or coffee in the early day is enough to just be inspiring, just to pop in and say, hey, Stargreet, how are you? My grandbabies even say Stargreet, just so that you know. They're like, Mimi, Stargreet. So this is a lot of fun, and I'm really glad. So I am not aware of who's in yet, but I do feel encouraged to know that someone is watching somewhere. And if no one is watching, I am. And I know above all, my ancestors are watching. And Divine Spirit and Source is watching. And that feels great because I'm doing it for me this time. I'm not doing it to try to hurry and get everybody to follow like the mass exodus, right? No, it's not necessary. You just gotta be. And so this is my little town right here, my little shop in this town. And I like the way it feels and smells, and it's encouraging. So now, oh, let me not forget. So this evening, this is Tuesday, I have a little book that I've been studying in. So if you want to participate, I will definitely post it's a Zoom link so you can actually participate in this. It's The Dark Goddess, The Craft. I love it. And so I've been going through this because definitely it's connected to that shadow work and getting to know yourself and accepting who you are and allowing yourself to change and acknowledge the good parts of yourself and the parts that aren't so good that you need to work on. That is why I like this booklet. And there's different goddesses that you can focus on. Some of us know the different names like Lilith, Oya, Kali, but there are others like Hecate or Sedna, Bluewed, Scalish, Persephone, Eris, Eshkirgal, and Aklan Dejavari. I never say her name right, but I've got to learn how to say it better. So anyway, this is wonderful. That's what I'll be doing this evening. So if you'd like to participate, I'm going to share that link in the Witches Tradition group that we have on this website, so that if anybody wants to join the live Zoom, they definitely can. I'm so excited to be able to share that. So thank you for joining. And if for some reason you pop into this recording after it's live, definitely comment. That allows me to know that you were able to get in and it was easy. Now, what I do know is that if you're visiting and you haven't logged in or you don't have a site, I think it has limitations as to whether you can comment or not. However, I will encourage you, go ahead and comment. It's like signing my guest book at my little store, right? At my little spot. So if you would do so and sign the guest book by joining the community, you can definitely comment, and I'd love to see it. Now, I'm not going to pull cards because I've already done cards for today. However, just depending on how I feel in the morning when I wake up in the daylight, when I come in for some coffee or for some tea, then maybe I'll pull a card for our little circle table of conversation for whatever it is. And again, I won't be on long. It'll probably just be about 30 minutes, enough to come in for a sip of tea, so, and or a jug of coffee. Well, with that being said, thank you so very much for for participating with me, being here today while I share this place that I am dwelling. It feels good, and thank you. Make it a great day. Blessed be. Mwah. Ashe.